There is something extraordinarily creepy about a mayor encouraging citizens to snitch on each other. Make sure you tell on your neighbor or that business down the street if they dare to go against our mandates. Now, I know people will say, well, you're putting others at risk if you're out and about, but that still doesn't take away from the extremely creepy authoritarian factor of it all. And it's nothing short of sad to see how quickly people just relent and give in to this desire to please your politicians. But this is why this is a terrible precedent to set, especially in this time of panic and hysteria. The reason this is a terrible precedent to set is that they could easily then say, well, look at how well our snitch and get rich program was. So now, to all you citizens out there, go through our laws and snitch on everyone violating anything. After all of those laws are there to make you and your community safer, so why not have a rewards program for snitches? Why not push people to snitch on each other for, let's say, jaywalking? Because, hey, that's dangerous. People could get hurt or people could die. So you need to tell on them. You could save a life. Why not snitch on people for loitering? It's totally possible that they're up to no good. Drug dealers have to post up in one spot. So you could be locking up a drug dealer by snitching on all those loiterers. Why not snitch on that guy making moonshine for his friends? Why not snitch on that guy employing a 15-year-old to do a little manual work for money under the table? Why not snitch on that person giving a haircut without a license? They've got to use chemicals that could hurt someone, and maybe they didn't wash the comb properly, and they can give everyone lice. It's happened once before, so you could be saving the entire town from an outbreak. You see, you can use this precautionary principle to whip any situation up into something that seems dire and desperate. Just because we've been turned into hysterical people for now, it doesn't mean politicians won't have anything to learn from this, and they may just learn that if they can convince everyone that they're being good little citizens by tattling on everyone, well, it may just be easier to solidify a ridiculous amount of control they never thought possible. It's pretty pathetic, and it's a stark reminder of how far too many people are comfortable with and actively celebrate a government with a disturbing amount of control. And of course, the police don't seem to mind this nonsense. We had a father get arrested for playing t-ball with his daughter and wife in an open field in Colorado, with no one else around. And the funniest part is that the police got in their face with no masks on. It's just ridiculous and maybe slightly counterproductive if what you want to do is diminish the probability that a virus spreads. You probably shouldn't be getting into people's faces. You probably shouldn't be touching them. Then we had that surfer who was out on the ocean with absolutely no one around, and he starts getting messed with by the lifeguards and then eventually gets arrested by the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. Again, this is a bit counterproductive as this guy was around no one, literally. He was more isolated from society than you would be if you were in your home with your family who might go to the grocery store later. It's just ridiculous. And then a few weeks ago, I think it was, there was that footage from the Derbyshire Police Department, which admittedly is in New England, but they were using a drone with a loudspeaker attached to it to essentially harass hikers who are, again, pretty isolated from society at large. They're not crossing paths with lots of people, or more importantly, they're not getting stuck in some room with people, as they would be if they were arrested, which, by the way, has happened. There have been people who have gotten arrested for unlawfully congregating. Now, I can't be certain of how much distance was between each person in this congregation. I really don't know. But I am sure after they got arrested and apparently put in a cell with 24 other people, and then later released, I am sure that's not a very good idea when it comes to trying to diminish the probability of spreading any virus. So, I think this is frightening for a few reasons. It's very illustrative of just how easy it is to make people roll over. You just scare the daylights out of them and they become malleable clay dolls that can easily be bent. And now, before anyone says it, yes, if there is someone going around purposefully coughing on people, something needs to be done. That's with or without a pandemic, by the way. I would certainly consider that a form of violating one's own personal space. But playing t-ball in an open field, spending time in the ocean completely alone, going on a hike or walking outside or walking your dog, the only takeaway that people should get from this is just how easy the government can be brought to grossly overstepping their grounds into asinine territory. And furthermore, it's frightening how how easy it is that regular citizens will applaud them for doing so. The best we can hope for at this point is after this is all done, we repeal this and we say this can't happen again. We cannot let it happen that every time there is some scare from some infection or virus that we go full-blown authoritarian where police are throwing people into jail cells for being outside in an open field with no one around. But anyway, like and subscribe and share and take it easy in your own home and don't go outside for any fresh air, you criminal.